Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Silver and Steel, our brand new D&D adventure right here on D&D Beyond. We have a wonderful show lined up for you today. I am your DM, that bronze girl, and I am joined by a wonderful cast. I was going to say we are a wonderful cast, and I was like, I should probably chill.
We are.
No, we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's verifiable.
I mean, Meagan is lovely.
It is true.
Yeah.
It's Meagan that puts it over the top. It's you and
It's
Meagan.
true.
Like
That-
the
I
rest,
get it from you
the
guys.
rest of us, we've
Fire
sort
red
of
hair.
Most
Yeah.
of it from Callie.
yeah,
Lauren
like
and I will leave.
the rest of us have spent our social capital here. Really, honestly, it's the two of you. Yeah.
Aw.
Why don't we go ahead and introduce ourselves and let's take it away, Lauren. Who are you? What do you do? And who do you play?
I'm Lauren Urban. You might know me as Obo. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond, and today I'm going to be playing Callie Zaffrab, your friendly, knife-wielding warforged.
B. Dave.
B.D. Walters, I say words about things. I am playing the lucky boy, my halfling Freely, who is a halfling out of time and space.
Meagan.
I'm Meagan Kenreck, and I will be playing Sofieus, and I'll be cooking, cleaning, and maybe I'll do a little bit of killing. I don't know. We'll see how the day goes.
And Todd.
I am Todd Kenreck. I'm the creative manager over at D&D Beyond and married to the wonderful Mrs. Meagan Kenreck.
Aw.
Aw.
And we've got a great show lined up for you today, especially after the shenanigans of last week. And also every single time myself or one of our players rolls a 20, we'll be giving away a legendary bundle in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We're so excited to play. But before we do, we have an awesome comic to roll. So roll the clip.
My favorite. I was gonna say my favorite part about this is the way Avren and Freely are looking at each other.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we
That's a real
totally-
mood in the background.
The vast majority of the comics are like, yeah, this is funny, but what's going on in the background?
Like, are they okay?
What gets me
Are
is how
they
sad
okay?
Callie looks.
Yep, it's true.
She looks
breaks my
so
heart.
utterly disappointed.
You know, there's a reason that Warforged, they might not be able to move their mouths, but they do have eyebrows, and that's why.
We'll get you a real knife, I promise.
I have a real knife. I have several, actually.
That's
I just-
terrifying.
What?
Wait,
That's
in the real
terrible.
life or?
I mean, ¿por qué no los dos?
Yes, although none of them are nearby to grab, and now I feel bad about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
All
you
my,
should.
all my knives are out of reach right now too. We should move the arsenals closer to our streaming setups, Lauren.
Or maybe we just need
Definitely.
sentient butter.
That
Yeah.
well, wait. If we have
No.
sentient butter and
No.
then you're cutting
Yeah.
into
That
the
could be
butter,
arranged.
Psychic damage.
The last thing I need is the butter like screaming as I'm eating it, because I do it anyway.
I think we need a butter construct.
God.
And then
So-
that way you can cut through the butter construct.
To the DM's
Yeah.
Guild. Yeah.
But before we do any of that, I think we have a trailer to roll too, right? I think I'm right. Yeah, let's roll the intro. Last time we went adventuring, our wonderful, intrepid crew found themselves, well, let's see, in quite a few different situations.
A killing
If we
and a
cry,
not
we
killing.
plot. Yeah. mhm.
Yeah, hot on the trails of a missing caravan, you found yourselves in a slow, lazy river that you waded across, caught catfish in, got and leeched. Is that
Mhm.
the correct word? We'll go with that. And leeched in, and came across some local color that dealt psychic damage to Todd in particular. Not even the character, but the player Todd.
Yeah, I was triggered.
Yeah,
That
he
was
really likes those
that
accents.
was way too much my hometown.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. No, it's fine. Totally okay.
it's definitely making me rethink my accent.
No, you don't say.
I am actually
fine.
from Arkansas. I will deploy it. No,
Yeah,
please,
yeah,
please,
yeah.
no. Continue.
Yeah.
The local color was dispatched post haste, and Yeah, you camped for the night. I forget. Did we roll hit die and heal and all of that? I
We
think
did not, because
No,
I
we
am
did
still
not.
injured
Okay.
and still
Yeah.
spent things.
So let's do
Yeah.
some of that housekeeping now. I know Callie has some special things she does during her downtime, and so let's get all of that rolled out of the way. I'm assuming you're taking a long rest.
If you would allow it.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Let's do
So the
that.
fun thing
Excellent.
about my long rest is that I only need 6 hours, and I don't actually sleep. I just when you take a long rest, you must spend at least 6 hours in an inactive, motionless state rather than sleeping. In the state, you appear inert, but it doesn't render you unconscious, and you can see and hear as normal. So I think we were all getting into the cart,
hmm
and so Callie would position herself at the end of the cart, the opening, facing outward, seated, and then you just hear her go, and her eyes kind of dim.
Okay.
And then for
Night,
6
night,
hours, she
Callie.
is just sentry out the back of the cart.
Did you move?
No,
Okay.
not unless you ask me to, because I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm just hard at work healing the various injuries from that giant weapon.
Sir, if you won't be needing me, I'll power down for a while. Yeah. I would hit you with. Oh, actually, I think I was out of spells. Actually, never mind. I was gonna say I'd heal you before I went, but I'm pretty sure I'd spent everything actually. So I wouldn't. I would just say the only thing that I think is relevant to the recap is freely buried the silver nearby. He
Yes.
buried the
Mhm.
bars, but he left the boxes filled with like rocks and stuff, so they'd still be
I-
heavy if somebody picked them up.
And
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm feeling I'm a little apprehensive because apparently we killed somebody's spouse. One of the
Somebody
one
or
of them didn't make it,
something.
and then they mentioned that their wife is going to be very upset.
Mhm.
Also, I'm super proud of myself for not killing the other guy,
Sounds
I
like a
think it was
Tuesday, yep.
Georgie.
Yeah.
Georgie.
Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes,
There might
Wow.
be an angry widow somewhere.
great.
Overhearing that, Callie will power back up for a moment and be like, I am watching the exits, and I will alert everybody if I do see anything.
Thank you, Callie.
Sure thing. Have a good rest.
Good night. Okay.
Right,
She
that's
doesn't need to make that noise. Like, she just actually makes it because she's learned that other people need to know that she's gone. She could do it completely silently. She's learned people need to know that she's gone into this mode. So you actually hear her make that noise verbally, essentially.
Is it like how they program robots to blink so it's not unnerving?
A little bit, yeah. Although she doesn't care about and does not blink.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Callie doesn't blink? Interesting. So
No,
Callie's
no.
just
Yeah,
all the time.
the light in her eyes does dim when she does this sentry mode, but she does not blink.
She
Blinking
does
would be
not sleep,
really-
She waits,
The exact. Ooh, yeah, I like that.
like Chuck Norris.
Ominous.
No, Chuck Norris waits like Kelly Zaffrab.
Exactly.
Yo.
So are you all has everybody all topped off on their health and spells?
Long rest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Avren's doing all kinds of weird things, adjusting his armor and stuff like that, and complaining about warlocks and other things.
Freely
After-
is snoring loudly.
after
Sophia's
6 hours.
removes,
Oh,
like
go
this Sophia's removes this huge heavy bag and just like plops it onto the ground and just takes a nap next to it.
Okay.
After 6 hours, I will pull out a book and I will write my letter to my dad, and then I will just continue to sit there, be sentry.
Awesome. And this is a very special book, isn't it?
Yeah, so she's not hiding it. And so as the sun is coming up, you might even see her writing in it, but it's a letter to her dad, and it will send that letter to her dad in the book, and then she can hopefully get a response. So we'll see what her dad has to say.
Yeah. All right. The sun comes up. You are you come to the sound of chirping birds and gentle sun shafts filtering through the trees above you. And it is a cold, crisp morning. What do? You have a few leads if you wanted to track down the two people that brought the silver shipment here. You're also not far from town if you wanted to go up to what the locals refer to as Henge. And Yeah, you have a few different avenues available to you here.
Right. So, Henge, is that the place where the people came from?
I believe so. I believe that is where they said that they were from.
That's where they said they were kicked out of.
Oh, they were kicked out of Henge.
Oh, I thought they were kicked out of Argent and made Henge.
Okay.
No, they were. Yeah, they talked about how they were kicked out of the local town, and so that's why they had taken up in the woods.
I also thought they'd been cast out of Argent and set up Henge. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's that's different.
Creepy shanty town. Right. So we're supposed to track down what happened to these people, right? Or were they only really concerned about the silver? It seems like the heroic thing would be go find the people, right? Is that what good people do? I'm not completely clear on it.
I can verify that would be the heroic thing to do. Yes, we should go look for those people, because maybe like at least we'll know somebody wanted them out of the way and it wasn't about the money. So there might be some risk to the town that you as council people should probably know about.
Oh, that's right. That's what we got voted for.
So, Avren, as council people, I think that we should pay our respects to Georgie's wife. Very angry wife.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we need to talk to them anymore. I think we're done. I think we're done. I think killing Georgie was probably a mouthful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he still has a mouth, I don't know if he does.
So we have 2 thumbs down. Kelly, what do you think?
Is it required of me to go and tell the widow of the person that I've killed them?
Not at all.
I mean, tempting.
I don't see any reason why I would do such a thing, but if you think that it's the right thing to do here on the surface, I'm more than happy to go and let her know that I'm the one that she can look for vengeance for.
Right.
Oh, we are the ones she can look for vengeance for. I did set him on fire.
Unless, am I misunderstanding, do I need to actually go kill this widow in order to prevent her from coming and dispatching us?
Well, if we're being very logical about this, I would say absolutely yes, kill her, but let's not do that.
No, this revenge begets revenge, because then their kid's going to grow up and want revenge later. Like, no, trust me, just leave it.
I agree. I see no reason that we need to kill her unless she does come after us, but I also see no reason to prompt that.
Right. Okay. Well,
wait, why don't we split the difference, Sofieus? Let's go find the guards, and then on the way back, stop by Henge, because Georgie will still be dead and she'll still be mad.
That's true.
It sounds like
she's
a plan.
going to find us, so because we killed her husband.
It is more of a morbid curiosity.
Oh.
I just want to see who this woman is. But we can go and find the guards.
We'll hit them on the way back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you set about looking for the 2 guards of the caravan shipment.
Yeah, we were given very basic directions and they're down there camped out kind of thing. So
okay, yeah. Let's see. Why don't you give me a let's do a survival check.
Oh,
I'm also going to, as we pile out of the cart, I'm going to activate the telepathic link for everybody.
That is not terrible. That's a dirty 20.
Oh, nice.
There we go. So yeah, we now are all telepathically linked once again.
All of us.
Great. So freely.
Natural 20 actually.
Hey.
Oh, that means somebody gets a legendary bundle.
That's a good way to start the day, right?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Very exciting. So I'm going to say that Freely and Avren are both together, kind of triangulating where the locals told you that they saw the 2 people camping out, and then also examining, the trail and stuff. You're able to uncover some pretty old tracks and also see some evidence of people that have maybe cleared out some of the local, like you just notice there's less underbrush and dead wood in this area. It's obviously been collected repeatedly over time, probably for a campfire for cooking. You have a pretty good idea where you think these people might be camped out.
I realize, especially with my dirty 20 having a pretty good idea and his natural 20, him even having a better idea, and he's actually doing a great job at this. I just sort of, I'm like, Avren, that's pretty good back there in the fight. You did a good job, man.
Yeah, I'm great at killing people.
Yeah. Well, no, but then you like unkill.
Oh, you mean like unkilling him?
Yeah,
right.
That part.
That's new. That's a new thing I'm doing.
Well, I mean, sometimes it works out. So, just keep doing the thing you're doing, which are words I've never said to you ever. So, hey. And then
That really warms my heart.
and then realizing that our happy moment cannot last, I very much go back to, oh yeah, hey, footprints. You see that? Maybe they went that way.
Yeah, this is way awkward for me. So can we continue
No,
being, because I was kind of like your god / warlock patron. And,
I mean, God is strong. God is strong. And I just followed it the path.
I am very strong, Freely. It's true. You're welcome. I'm glad I could give you faith again. You did a great job following this path. You did a great job not killing that guy. We're moving in the right direction. It's just literally moving the right direction. We're literally moving in the right direction. You're right.
And as you're moving in the right direction, you don't even have to really take much effort to consider yourselves. You come upon two people. Like I said, you rolled a natural 20. You know exactly where they are. You're able to figure it out pretty quickly. Washing their clothes in a small creek nearby that has not dried up with the drought. And they're arguing amongst the two of them. They look a little bit worse for wear. They don't look hurt, but they look like they've been out here for a little bit, roughing it.
Could I try and listen in? Maybe perception?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Give me a roll.
I would like to join in on that.
Okay.
That is an 18.
All right.
Perception.
And when we spot him,
anything over a 13.
I do give back through the psychic link that we found the guys and where we are.
Okay.
I only got a 10, so when I hear that, Callie stops and doesn't get close enough to hear, because now she is doing the thing in where she hears that from Freely, and so she's got to send that to Sofieus, send that to Avren, and then contact Freely back. And every once in a while, being that triangulation is really hard.
You're a little distracted.
You're our wireless router. It works.
Sometimes. And sometimes I can't move when I'm doing it.
You literally rebooted last night, so this is all on brand.
Right, this isn't disconcerting at all.
Freely creeps forward a little bit, and your hearing is very astute, I should say. You pick up little pickets of information or little snips of conversation, and you hear one of the men say, "Gosh darn it, Rick! What do you do to your breeches? I can't seem to get the stains out of these. This is really something." And you hear the other person say, "Gosh darn it, Gil, I'm so nervous. We heard stuff up in the woods yesterday." You hear Rick say, "I'm sure it was nothing. It's probably not that big of a deal. It's really not that. I'm sure it was nothing up there." You hear Gil say, I don't know. After those weird yokels came and gave us a hard time, I don't even know what to think anymore. I mean, they left us alone, but I'm afraid they're gonna come back. Something about their weird rituals and their weird ways and their weirdness. And you just hear the other gentleman that you've gleaned, his name is Gil now, say, "I still don't know what you do to your breeches. I really can't get the stains out." And they're both sitting there scrubbing their clothes using like a old school washboard and soap. Yes.
So Rick is washing his friend's breeches for him?
Yeah.
Recount all of this back to Callie, and then I also recount to Callie that I'm going to try something. And Avren, since Avren, you're with me, I'm just like, and I would like to use my folk hero background, rustic hospitality.
Okay.
Since I come from the ranks of the common folk, I fit in among them with ease. I can always find a place to hide, rest, or recuperate among commoners, unless I have shown myself to be a danger to them.
Okay.
Essentially, they will help me as long as they're not risking their own lives. So as soon as I realize Avren sees me, I pick up some dirt and I kind of rub it on my face a little bit. And then I make a huge dramatic show of bursting out of the underbrush, like, whoo, oh man, oh my, oh, water, oh, and just run over to the water, and I'm like,
And you know, Gil perks up and he's like, Oh, you should probably boil that before you drink it. I think we have a water skin somewhere. Poor guy. And you see him start looking for his water skin. You shouldn't drink river water without boiling it. My cousin did that once, and let's just say you don't want to know what came out of his other end. That's
A little
all I'm
ways
gonna
back,
say.
I got a leech on me like the size of my arm. I just, this place. Whew. If now that I'm closer and I see their clothes, do they look like their guard uniforms or anything from Argent? Like in anything that would connect them that I can see?
Um, yeah, yeah. I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. They're not going through any special effort to conceal it.
Mhm.
And you notice, sure enough, that their garb is very similar to the garb you've seen in the city.
Hey, you guys are like soldiers from Argent. Oh, wow, I'm saved. I'm saved. And I very much like yell
Mhm.
back in the direction. I'm like, I found guards. I'm saved.
Gil gets
Oh,
nervous, Rick gets nervous, and he's like, I mean,
no,
soldier is a strong word. I mean, like, I guess we kind of, I know my way around a pokey end. Are you in trouble?
yeah.
Are those yokels after you? Because they made us move from the wood, from that stone thing,
Like,
and I really hope I would just keep it down if I were you. Maybe just like bring it down. You're at like
Well,
11. We need you maybe at a 3.
what's their deal with like the fire? Like I caught some catfish again, and let me tell you something. That
Same.
catfish was as big as me, so that was like just a whole thing, right? I was
Same.
noodling.
Well,
That
I'm
was
pretty sure one of them took one of my toes off. If I'm being honest, if I'm
well.
just being honest, and
See, I
now you're
have an
saying leeches.
unfair.
I've been washing my clothes in this water. I didn't know there was leeches in this
I
water.
have an unfair advantage for noodling because I got a metal hand, see? But so I dragged this catfish out that was trying to drag me back. And then I was like trying to cook the catfish. And then these dudes come along and they're all like, one of them had like this big, like honking sword. And it was just, it was
Well, yes,
terrible.
they took your catfish, probably, right? Yeah, of course they did. Of course they did. Of course they did.
Who does that?
Savages
Sofieus,
are out
we
here.
could just leave them. We could just leave them.
These
right now.
lands are full of savages.
In the mental link, I'm like, this is definitely them. How you guys want me to do this? But on the outside, I'm like, yeah, man.
Really
just
would like you to know that it is
monster.
definitely them.
Yeah.
Right, we
Yeah.
just need to get them back to town. So
Really, we just need to get them back to town.
Could you guys
Get
help
them
me
back
get
to
back
town.
to Argent? Oh my God.
Can we help him get him back to Argent?
I'm so lost. If you guys could just help me
Oh
get
no,
back
wait,
to
he's
Argent,
talking to the other people. I'm
I
sorry.
would appreciate that.
Oh.
I mean, we could probably, and at this point, Gil speaks up, and he's like, "We know the way, but I don't think we're supposed to go back yet."
Why not? Is there like a plague? Have they been drinking river water?
Okay.
No, not anything like that. We've just got a job to do, and so we're gonna sit here and we're gonna do it.
Well, hey man, maybe I can help you. Like I could always stand to make a couple coins. I'm stronger than I look. Like, can I help you? What are you out here doing?
Make a persuasion check.
I'm also in my head, I'm recounting all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I-
You
I-
could do this with advantage since you've kind of established yourself as somebody that.
Hey.
Avren is slowly losing his mind from this telepathic telephone connection, so I'm just going to just come out of the bush.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going for. We're not going to assassinate these people or anything. I'm just walking forward.
Okay.
It was 21 on my persuasion. If I get that
Okay.
off before
Yeah.
before Tony Stark here joins me.
So, Gil says very slowly, well, the thing is, I don't think we're supposed to tell other people about the job, but you seem like, and you see him notice Avren and be like, oh, good morning, council member. How dost thou fare this fair morn?
I look at him and I'm like, is he another one of those dudes? Is he one of those dudes? And I jump behind one of them like I'm afraid of Avren. Like I'm not making a fire, man.
And you see Rick say, no, he's fine. Your esteemed council member, sir. And he bows very, very low.
I mean, what is he, a council member?
Okay, so
Sir.
first off, I know this might be your first time lying. I don't know what you're lying about. You're here for some suspicious reason. Can we get that out of the way? Because it's not what you're particularly good at.
Suspicion? No suspicions around here, sir.
Right. So here's the thing.
Only good, hard-working folk. Oh, how's it going? How are you? Oh man, out all the way out here, huh? I hope you weren't worried about us. There ain't nothing going on. We're fine. Yes.
What is
Do you
that
know
on
the
you?
term noodling?
What is
Do you
that
know?
on your
Do you know what that means? Noodling.
I've gleaned a little bit from our new friend's description
Right.
of what it could be.
Okay, and that is sticking your hand in the mud or the water, right?
Yep.
Fishing around for whatever, waiting for something to bite, right? What if I
Sounds
stuck
awful.
my fist in you and I start noodling around for the truth? So how about you just tell us why you're out here in the middle of nowhere with a wagon and a bunch of silver, and you're basically causing a ruckus with the locals. So we're trying to just let us help you.
I would like
Make
to
an intimidation check.
I would like to assist. I'm like, oh, you guys should listen to this guy. He looks serious.
Yeah.
While this is going on, Callie has continued to basically for Sophia's benefit, continued to like relay everything that's coming through. But more and more, instead of just saying what's happening, she is imitating everybody's voice in a very eerie way. And so it's like you're getting a weird echoey replay of everything that's happening. And so she says that last part that Avren said, and then back in her voice, she'll say, well, I guess at this point we should be ready to charge in and kill people. And she'll produce one of her knives.
I got a 16.
Yeah.
You got a 16. It's sufficient. They're not very brave. And you see him immediately pale. And he says, well, I don't really think I pay my taxes. I don't really think that there's any need for any of that. We could have a conversation all civil like. I pay my taxes. I'm a good citizen. I volunteered.
Sophius,
in
you talk to them. Yep. Oh, no, it's too late. It's too late. So we were having a nice conversation. That's wonderful. You're now going to talk to my wife.
Sophius has kind of been hanging back this whole time, and she just walks up to them and she's like, you seem like you're very nervous, but you don't have to be. Avren here, he's intimidating, but he's a softie at heart. He's really, really good council member. He does not mean to intimidate you. But
I don't know. He's making all kind of
when she says that,
gestures.
I am like, oh, she's the good cop. You should definitely talk to her. And then go back to hiding.
She's definitely
You
not
hear
that good cop.
Gil kind of like give up on the britches because he's been washing them this whole time and just kind of put them down. And he's like, we should tell her. We've been out here in the woods for a little bit. We should just tell her I didn't feel right doing what we did.
what did you do?
Well, we were supposed to bring all of the silver and the vegetables to the people in the town over. It's called Kalapatar, but people call it Henge because it's surrounded by a bunch of weird henges. I don't know. I personally think the original name is poetic and beautiful in its own way.
I
The
agree.
root of it actually means black stone. And that root word derives from the mountain from which the shadow of which the town lies. It's actually quite a lovely place. It has red sandstone walls and quite a nice little inn in there if you go up there. I rather like delivering our deliveries there because sometimes I hang out for a little bit. I maybe dawdle from time to time, but it ain't no harm really. There's really nothing to it. I don't dawdle on my way there, and I think that's what's important. There's some good folks out there. They got a really nice barmaid that I rather fancy.
Oh. So you like the people of Henge?
Her name is Starla. And
Starla,
she's got stars in her eyes, if I
Oh,
were
that is beautiful.
quite honest.
Do you
And
know what
it's
her
like
favorite
the
meal is?
I don't really know because I haven't gotten the courage to talk to her yet, but I have a feeling one of these days I will. Maybe during the next festival season, I'll ask her to join me in a wonderful flower dance upon the hilltops under the moonlight. That would be rather nice.
Right. So why are you here before I kill one of you? I mean that in the nicest way. I'm more exaggerating. I'm probably not going to kill anyone, but you're here for a reason. Tell us now.
Well, like I was saying, we're in charge of bringing some of the caravan trades down to the city. We usually do this about every 2 weeks. Sometimes there's grains in there, sometimes there's vegetables in there, sometimes there's silver in there, sometimes there's jewelry in there, sometimes there's even instruments in there or trinkets of all types of variety. Sometimes there's baked goods. Those are pretty cool. Once in a while, there's leathers and fishes, which is also pretty cool. I don't really like the fishes. They don't smell very good.
I'm just instinctively grab Freely's shoulder again and slowly crush his shoulder in my hand.
Since I'm pretending to not know him, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, tell him what he wants to know. Get to the end, Gil. Just skip to the good part, Gil.
Yeah,
Rick-
sorry, I take the halfling's other arm.
Rick cuts Gil off. He's just like, "Look, there's no need for violence. We've already been threatened. Like we didn't. So Gil, shut up. So the thing is, normally we do this. This time, we were approached on the road, by a very strange individual who was cloaked, and basically, they told us they would give us money if we just delayed, if we just waited, and honestly, that's not great. Because we know that this town is having a shortage of food, and it's like, oh well, the food's gone now. The food's rotted. I feel terrible about it. But this person was scary, and they were basically like, listen, we're gonna leave money on your doorstep, and you can either take it or you can leave it, but you don't want to leave it. And it was kind of the same thing that you're kind of doing right now, like where he was kind of like all threatening and stuff about it. I've never gotten in trouble like that, and honestly, I could really use the money. They don't pay me that much. I feel awful watching all those delicious vegetables rot. I just feel downright terrible about it. And honestly, I feel like maybe you coming here is a sign, because I think maybe this is my chance to get out of this awful situation I found myself in. I'm a simple person. I've never broken the rules. I don't even jaywalk. Honestly, I don't even know what jaywalking is, but if I even did know what it was, I still wouldn't do it. I'm not that type of person. I once shoplifted. I went back, gave it back, apologized profusely. I couldn't even walk away with it, really, honestly.
I cast Thunderclap.
Thunderclap or Thunderwave?
Thunderclap. So I'm gonna make sure I'm a little ways, just 5 feet away from Freely, so he barely makes it away from this. And
Okay.
yeah, I'm just gonna Thunderclap them. They need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, on Gil or Rick?
I want both of them.
Okay.
Dramatically sell it too. When he lets go of me to Thunderclap,
Mhm.
I'm like, fall to the shore of the river.
I will attempt to make a Constitution save
It's a difficulty of just 12.
of
Oh,
12.
dear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Callie's been hiding in the woods this whole time, like keeping an eye out for everything. This could be an interesting moment that happens.
Okay. So, Rick doesn't make it and Gil does.
Aw.
Okay.
So Gil hears the crack, and so what happens if they make the Constitution save? Does it not affect
I don't
them?
think
or-
anything happens.
Okay.
But if they fail, they take 1d6.
Okay. So Rick will take 1d6.
Yeah.
If you want to roll damage.
And it's a 6. It's a full 6.
Okay. So
This causes Callie to come out of hiding with her knife and go for Gil, the one that's been thunderclapped.
Rick is the one who's thunderclapped.
Oh, Rick. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. I haven't seen them yet. I've just been hearing it through the psychic link. So as soon as I
Yeah.
hear that,
Yeah.
I'm there with knives.
Rick
Mhm.
is the one who got rolled.
Okay.
He's about to.
So Rick reels, and he's just like, no, please, oh God. And Gil's just like calmly still holding the breeches, like he doesn't even know what happened. And he says, I don't feel like there's a need for all that. Are we under arrest?
Yes, at best.
I feel like you're
actually.
supposed to read our rights before you arrest us.
I never read the bylaws. Sophia's,
feel
do we
like
have to
it's
like say something before
Necessary
we kill
force. Just saying, I feel like it's unnecessary force. That's all.
Did you want me to go ahead and dispatch them now?
them? Not
I
right
heard
now.
the-
Right now. I'm really on the fence right now.
When I see this, I actually go towards Callie and I act like she stabbed me and I just fall to the ground like, I'm like, no, killing machine, don't do.
And you hear Gil rush over to you, and he's like trying to find a wound and bind it with the half clean breeches.
No, just make
He's
sure
like,
the people.
well, come now, this feller didn't do anything. He's
did not-
just hanging out. You didn't have to do that.
I have
Good
not done
lady.
anything yet. I've just arrived because I thought that there was fighting going on, and now I see that there is nothing but deception and loud thunder. This is disappointing.
When you say
Until-
deception, he looks down at you freely, and he's like, "What, do you think this is funny?"
Wait, is it Gil or Rick that's near me?
Gil.
I'm like, Gil. and I pop my sword out of my hand, and I'm like,
Mhm.
trying to get you out of this alive, Gil.
Oh, Gil lays down on the floor too and goes, "Oh no, you got me. What's gonna happen now? The world, it grows dark.
Oh, Gil.
Truly, I am a flower cut down in my prime." And you
was
see
so
him
young.
like
He
lay
was so
down.
young.
Oh, Horatio.
While I lay my head on his chest crying, I sleight of hand, pickpocket him.
Okay.
Ooh, that is 17. I very much am like, oh,
Yeah. You succeed.
Does he have anything on him?
He has a few coins. You find a coin purse. It has about 12 gold in it.
Relative, I know I just got here, but does that seem like a lot? Does that seem like bribery type money or like a
It
common
seems
person?
about a
sorta...
week's worth of wages.
Okay.
You literally just got to this world. You're like, that feels like a bribe.
Well, what I mean is, but I've been a lot of places. I know what minimum wage feels like in a coin purse. That is one thing I do know.
With bribery.
We were also
They're
offered silver, like what, 20 silver in order to do this entire job. So you at least have that to go off of.
I actually don't take it. Just if I kind of feel it, I don't take it out of his pocket. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I just I just stand up dramatically and I'm like, Rick, you got to come back. You got to help us get Gil back before it's too late and just tell everybody everything that happened and we can fix it, Rick. We're going to get you and Gil and we're going to go back right now.
Rick is like stumbling towards you. His like head is like ringing. He's like, "Oh God, I knew I should have done it. I never did anything wrong in my life. And now we're going to die. Poor Gil's dead. He's the one who washes my britches." And you see him start pounding on Gil's chest.
Right. I think I can help him. But you just have to tell us, when were you supposed to go back? How long were you supposed to stay out here?
Well, and you hear Gil cut in and he says, "We're supposed to stay out here for 7 to 12 days.
And who was the gentleman who bribed you in this way?
I'm not really sure. They were cloaked. They were tall. They had a weird voice that reverberated quite a bit. Let me do a wisdom roll for Gil."
I was about to say, I'm like, was it Avren?
Yeah, I know.
Oh no, was it me?
I'm like, surprise plot twist. It was you
actually-
the entire time.
Rolled really well. And then he kind of sits up a little bit and he says, "You know, honestly, the weirdest thing about this person who was going to great lengths to conceal their identity was that they had marsh mud on their boots." And I thought to myself, nobody goes out to the marshes, but it was fresh marsh mud too. You know, it had that light gray color and it was all over their boots, right up to the knee, like they'd been wading around in the marshes. And I thought to myself, well, why'd you go through all this trouble to conceal your identity if you were going to walk around with your marsh boots on?
Sophius, do you have
Oh,
a type of butter? Oh, okay. Do you have like a butter that will like make me not
I don't know if butter is
creamy?
always
I don't know, like
the
something like
solution.
I've been informed that butter is always a solution.
It is a really good solution, but is Gil dead yet?
Yeah.
No, I
He's
have
been dying
healed.
for a
I
while.
have healed
Gil
him.
actually
No, I've
died?
healed him. I know.
Okay.
I have spared his life. He's going to make it.
Oh,
I haven't
thank goodness,
stabbed
Gil.
anybody.
You are too young. You still have to go and get the love of your life. Starla, her name is, right?
he like props up and he's like, "You're right. You are right. I have to get Starla. Well, thank you for not killing me, esteemed council members. I'll be sure to vote for you in the next election." And Rick is just like, "Gil, we're gonna fucking die here. We're gonna die.
That's
We're
a
gonna
low
die. I
bar.
don't know. You're playing like this is some kind of stage play. What is this? What are you doing? You're pretending to be dead. He's pretending to heal you. You're not dead. I'm the one whose ears are bleeding. I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to hear again.
I actually
We're
helped
gonna die, Gil. We're gonna die." And Gil's
You're not
like,
going to die. You were
helped-
just a little hurt. Avren
have-
just lost his temper.
I help Gil to his feet and I look at him and I say, Gil, listen to me, buddy. You got one shot at this. If you really care about Starla, her town is starving because of what you did. You got to help us make this right.
You see this dawn on him. Also, I should explain. Gil is a tiefling.
Oh, that's relevant.
Yeah. It's a very simply dressed in leathers with like two downturned horns that look kind of pathetic. Like they're like somebody melted them, you know?
No.
And he looks at you with like these sad lavender eyes and he's like, I didn't even really think about that until the vegetables started turning.
Well, how many days has it been? And can we go ahead and deliver these now and then go find the perpetrator of this whole plot?
Everything's wrong.
We saw the vegetables; they were rotten.
Everything is rotten.
Well, yes, but the silver can still be delivered and hopefully more vegetables can be procured.
Right. So here's what's going to happen. Gil, or what, and whoever you are.
Rick. And Rick is a halfling, or sorry, not halfling, half elf.
All right, Gil, Rick, this is your chance to be heroes. And this is going to be a fun little exercise. So what's going to happen is I'm not going to kill you. You're going to live.
I'm not
You're
sure
going
you
to
didn't
help-
already.
Huh? What?
He like grabs his ears and he's like, I'm not sure you didn't already. I might be dead for all I know, honestly.
If you're looking at my face right now and I'm this annoyed with you, you're still alive. So
Sophius pinches him. Did you feel that?
I did. Yes,
You're
I
alive.
did. Oh,
You're alive.
I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, but
So you gotta help us
Thank you, ma'am.
find this person who hired you, and we're going to get more vegetables, and we're going to go to the town and give them everything they're supposed to get. That's what your job is. Because if you don't do that, I'm going to figure out exactly how much food we can make out of you. See what I'm
Or
saying? So
we could give them this massive bag of catfish. And we cannot eat all of it.
Yeah, we can. No, actually, no, we really can consume the catfish. That is true. That's
Oh, that is. Whoa, you're hungry. Okay.
You are more than welcome to give away my portion of the catfish. It's not like I can eat it anyway.
okay.
I do actually look at Avren and Sofieus, and I'm like, okay, so wait a second. Whoever did this just wanted to make things worse for Henge, and they were gonna make a move in 7 to 12 days. So who doesn't like Henge? Who lives in the marshes?
Well, the people we just met that we didn't completely kill, I'm assuming,
Tall,
right?
cloaked people.
The people that got very annoyed with our weird butter witchcraft.
I mean,
thing with the ball bearing
everybody's-
coin.
if
everybody's-
you think about it right now. You're not in Port Argent either. They could have been making a move there. They did say 7 to 12 days. Maybe our job was to waylay you. Maybe our job was to starve Henge. Maybe they're really evil and they wanted to do both.
Freely, did you cast a slow spell on me? Like, are they actually talking? I mean, a haste spell. Are they actually talking this slow right now? Like, is this really happening?
Hey, this is the place you chose to live, man. You just pulled me here across space and time, and I'm trying to make the best of it. Okay? Okay.
I didn't explore. I didn't explore the.
Right. Hey,
the
Gil,
You
outside
gotta
area.
take the time to enjoy the little things in life.
All right,
I do
new plan. So you are not coming with us. No, you're coming
Gil
with
looks
us.
disappointed.
No, you're coming with us. I changed my mind. You're absolutely coming with us. I'm just going to grin and bear your existence. And so we're going to go to Henge. Does anyone want to go to Henge and save
Does
the
that
town?
mean we could see Starla?
Yes, you get to see Starla.
Hopefully, you'll have done something between here and there worth impressing her versus saying that she's been sleeping hungry for the last week because of you two.
Please don't tell Starla that. That would break my heart.
Then you would be lying twice.
Do you happen to know what happened to the beasts of burden that you were using to transport the cart?
Oh yeah, they're tied down the river.
Excellent, because I'm not strong enough to transport anything in that cart. We should go get them and we should get going because how far away is Henge?
It's okay, DM speaking. It's maybe like an hour away, probably less than that because of how far you've traveled like under the bridge. You went the long way, but you could get there pretty quickly.
Wow, so we all went like 90% of the way to this town and these two are like, "All right, this is where we're
Man,
going to
that
stop."
is cold.
And how many days have already passed since they were supposed to
Roughly a
arrive?
week. Yeah, it's been roughly a
Okay.
week. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're technically still going to be within the 7 to 12 days when we arrive.
Mm-hmm.
Callie will look at Gil, I guess, and say, "Are you supposed to meet anyone when you arrive at the town, or once everything is delayed, then your job is done and the money is just there when you get back to Argent?"
We usually sign up or go check in with the weird quartermaster fellow. And then sometimes he gives us stuff to send back, and sometimes he doesn't.
But that's a normal thing. That's not an extra thing that you have to do
Are
because
you
of the.
talking about the 7 to 12 days thing? I don't know. The person just said we would know when it was time to move along.
Oh,
Okay.
that sounds like a threat to me.
Yeah, that
That
sounds
sounds
like a
very-
massive issue.
Or very cryptic.
Well, I'm assuming you're here, so I just thought we'd probably get caught or dieted. You hear Rick kind of like pipe up, and he's like, "The entire thing was really fishy. Honestly, we shouldn't have done it, and I feel really bad about it. And you know, I'm gonna make this right. I'm gonna make this right by you, sir. I'm gonna make this right by your beautiful lady wife. I'm gonna make this right by everybody. Is what I'm gonna do. Yeah,
Can I-
Rick on the job.
Can I
I'm gonna
insight
find these
Rick?
people. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I'm just looking at these two like, all right, yeah, sure, whatever. That's a 5. Never mind. Nope.
Yeah, I would like to do an insight.
I'm
check
a little
since-
distracted by the fact that I was supposed to kill them moments ago, and now they're gonna be heroes.
Poor
All right, sure.
Callie.
Since our Roomba with a knife can't quite tell
Aw.
what they're doing.
She's just staring at them like,
Mhm.
this seems
Freely,
wrong, but
would you like to?
Yeah, I can insight
I
him also.
actually
But
did get an 18. I'm not lying.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Wow, I've never rolled this well.
So
well, now you've jinxed it.
yeah,
hey, as long as one of us is right.
you
Mhm.
get the sense that Rick will say anything that he needs to save his own life, but you get the sense that it's never occurred to Gil to lie. Like he wouldn't be sneaky unless someone told him to.
They're kind of telling the truth, I guess. I don't know. Who can say?
Now that Freely knows the whole point behind this was to make the people of Henge suffer, like I immediately head back to get the silver because like I'm leaving. I'm like, bring the horses. We're taking the silver to Henge, and like I'm heading back to the silver.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right. Let's go.
Sophia's is like, woohoo, off to Henge.
Gil goes and gets these like big Shire style ponies. They have like lots of hair on their hooves and they're very, very fuzzy. And he leads them your way. I honestly feel better doing this. I usually like to do what I'm told. And he attaches it to the cart and he's like, "We did take very good care of the cart though." And you hear Rick kind of muttering as he's like walking along and he's like, "Personally, the whole thing seemed fishy. Who the heck says, 7 to 12 days and then you'll out?" Personally, the whole entire thing is either very poorly put together or they were going to send somebody 7 to 12 days to kill us. That's probably a thing. And we're dumb. We're sitting out here on all the silver in the woods. What was I thinking? What am I thinking?
Or
I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll just sit out here for 7 to 12 days. What's going to happen after day 7? What could happen? They could just come out here, kill us. We have silver on the road. Idiots. We're idiots. We're idiots is what we are. Never again. Never again. We didn't think this through. Also, the person who did the plan didn't think this through either. If you really think about it, because y'all are here. Y'all got the silver back. We got the vegetables are rotten. Yeah, that's true. Just didn't think it through, really. They had no guarantee we'd even go through the job, right? Well, I mean, I guess they could take as sort of retributive action. Retribution.
Retributive?
Retributive action.
Yes.
They could have done that. It's crazy. And he's like, you know, like sorry, Todd, your face.
we're all just fascinated by these two. We just want, just like, we're just gonna listen to these two because this is amazing.
Yeah, and they've got the ponies all ready to go. The ponies look very happy, very eager to take off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly how those ponies feel right now.
I do dig up the silver, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gil helps you.
Actually, I don't want his help. I don't want either of them to help me with the silver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gil does not help you.
I'm like, no, stay
Well,
over
he
there,
tries,
buddy. Stay
yeah.
over there, buddy. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay.
I got it. Yeah.
You're a very hardy little guy.
It's I'm very tall for a halfling. Yep. And then I load it up and then hop in the back of the cart. And I'm like, this is a weird one. Okay, yep, let's do it. Although, this is not I've been a pickle before. I've been a mind flayer. This is not the weirdest thing that's happened to me. Let's just go.
Oh, that's right. You did become a pickle.
Are you a shapeshifter?
I've heard of people being in pickles, but I've never really heard of people being pickles. My grandmother makes a really good mango pickle, and this is as he's like
really?
leading the cart away. Yeah, it's really tangy.
Can Sofieus
and
make
really
him some
spicy.
coffee or something so he talks faster?
You can attempt to, yeah, for sure.
Okay, she's just gonna like mix
Roll
the
for
few
coffee.
elixirs together. And,
Yeah.
Can I please offer you some coffee? You seem kind of sleepy.
Oh god.
Give me an Arcana check. Let's do it.
All right.
Magic coffee.
Yes.
Did you use some of your magic butter in the coffee? I hear people do that.
Oh,
they put butter in their coffee.
the butter coffee.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a
Oh, yeah.
keto coffee.
Bulletproof coffee out here in Fate, wherever we are. Yep.
I got an 11.
Okay. Yeah, he drinks the coffee and you notice him perk up a little, and there's like a glint in his eye and a little perk in his step. And he speeds up his gait a little bit with how he's talking, but not by that much, just by a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. And he will, unless you guys want to do anything, he will lead you back to the town.
Okay.
No,
That sounds good.
I'm not
To
making-
Henge.
Not making eye contact. I'm not being inviting. I'm not. It's not asking about their day.
This
Callie's
is hard for Rick because Rick really wants to impress you. So he's sitting next to you and he tries to offer you half of a sandwich.
I'm very much putting myself putting Sofieus between, like I really do in real life with Meagan. I'm putting her between me and the people I do not want to socially interact with.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Just making sure I'm on the other side.
She's the charisma tank. Yep.
Yes.
She's going to turn to Avren and ask him, do you think that we are making ourselves targets right now? Because I feel like somebody was probably coming back to kill them and now we are riding with them.
That's fine. If they succeed, then we don't have to feel bad about it, and they're another target. So either way, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best here.
Callie,
Yes,
if you ever get scared, here is a piece of gum. You chew it if you ever get scared, okay? It will help you.
I appreciate that, but I can't currently chew anything. Is there any
It
other
is-
way
It
that
is
I
okay. You don't have to digest or anything. Just if there's a orifice in your mouth, just put the gum in there.
I do have a storage slot. Sure, thank you very
Nervous
much.
tick gum.
We'll take the stick of gum.
Yeah.
And you
While-
don't see anything happen. It's just gone the next time you look at Callie, but you don't know what happened to it.
Oh my god, you did not just put it in the storage cavity, did you? Callie?
No, of course not.
Callie,
Yes,
where'd you
hi.
go?
No,
Where-
Callie's still there. The gum's gone, I mean.
Oh.
It's an invisibility gum, so I need you to not eat it.
Oh, then no, she's invisible because she would have put it. No, she immediately stuck it in her storage cavity.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you just
Callie-
plane shift Callie? Like,
Callie
come
has,
on, man. You're supposed to be better than this now. What-
Callie has disappeared.
Did
Okay,
you
we'll
just-
figure out something else.
Did you just make the construct disappear?
I think the thing is still up, so
She'll come back.
you hear me in your head say, "Well, this is a very weird sensation. I've never been invisible before."
How does
Todd,
it
This
feel?
is what it's like to have a conscience.
I'm pretty sure I have a conscience and it's not invisible.
Right.
You can
okay.
see your conscience?
That's fair enough.
No, it's not tangible. It's kind of like my knives. It just appears usually when I need it to.
I mean, Avren can see his conscience. It's me.
Yeah, right. So
Is
This
that why
might
you're a shapeshifter? Do you sometimes need to be a mind flayer or a pickle in order for Avren's conscience to be useful?
Apparently, that would be the missing piece of the equation that I haven't accounted for up until now. Yeah.
I'm
mhm,
about
yeah.
50% certain right now that I'm actually in a cell in Avernus.
I mean, maybe, man. Although, actually, while I do actually try and like pull Avren slightly to the side as the cart's moving along,
Mhm.
and I'm like, all jokes aside, somebody is trying to trigger a war, or at least like distrust, or
Yep, something that I would normally do.
who
Someone
lives
is
in the
clearly
marshes?
up to something. So someone's trying to start a war between these two towns, or create bad blood, or weaken them in some way.
I don't know where I am, man. Who lives in the marshes?
Well, the creepy folk, I think, right?
Is
The
that where?
noodlers?
Creepy folk with the cloaks.
Is that where
Yeah.
the noodles
The,
were?
the creepy cloak folk.
Actually, DM, is that where they said they lived? I thought they said they lived somewhere else. They were cast out of Henge, but they're not the ones that went to the marsh, are they?
No, from what you know geographically, they came from closer to Henge.
Oh,
Right. It's someone else. Do
Right.
the locals have any insight into who might live in the Henge or who might live in the marsh?
Let's see. Do you ask Gil about it or do you ask Rick?
No, neither. I'm asking the council people.
Oh,
that's a good question. Yeah. Do I know anything?
it depends. I feel like let's actually do a raw charisma roll and see, because I feel like you wouldn't talk too much with local people, and I feel like because of that, maybe you wouldn't pick up on things like that.
What was the question again?
If you guys know who lives in the marsh.
Mhm.
I definitely don't. I have no idea who lives in the marsh.
I might know who lives in the marsh.
Yeah.
What did I get? I
They
got
come from the water.
a dirty 21.
Oh, okay. So you have heard rumors and murmurs. The marsh is a really dangerous place. And as far as you know, nobody of any sort of repute would live out there. It would be a punishment to send someone out there. Oftentimes a lot of your neighbors, when you bring them pastries or you're making polite conversation with them, which Avren refuses to do, you've heard of people getting lost out there from time to time. The terrain is treacherous. There are a lot of beasts out there, and the land is completely uncultivable. There's no way to scratch a living out there. Now, you also know that there are some rare and very special herbs and things that grow out there. And you've heard rumors of some witchy types living out there, but you're
Oh.
not sure if these are real or fake.
While we're riding along, well, one, does Sofieus tell us that, presumably?
So there is some magical herbs in an uninhabitable land. And perhaps these people they were speaking about have been feasting on these magical herbs. And that is how they were living out there. Because I have never heard of anybody surviving out here.
While we're writing, I would like to use message on Gil. So I send him a message that only he can hear, and his reply only I can hear.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Gil, buddy, we're about to get to Henge, and you're going to have a chance to tell Starla everything that happened. But, if you want to impress her, you got to seem like a hero, man. You got to give me something. Give me something I can use to, like, make this look better for you.
Mm-hmm. Let me think. Let's see here. I just don't. Let me see how smart Gil is to see if he can come up with something to give you. I got a nat 20.
Hey!
Nice.
Go, Gil!
Gil's like, so I've been thinking
We've been
the
rooting for Gil.
perpetrator of this would be right over
Popular
Got a
there.
phrase
nat-
and critical role that
perfect
I'm
nat
feeling right
20.
now.
I love it.
It is. Hey, we believe in
Maybe
you, Gil.
Maybe it's the thought of Starla finally noticing him. Maybe it's the coffee that's got his brain working in ways it hasn't before. But you see Gil kind of perk up, and he says to you, he says this out loud.
Gil
Because he's
doesn't
not
know what this is.
exactly sure how magic works. So he says it out loud. He turns around, in the sort of the driver's seat, and he says, there are those that have been trying to undermine the council since it was established. And the timing of all of this seems a little bit too good. And I don't know if it's a rumor, and I don't know if it's real, but it kind of seems like everything's happening all at once. And he like kind of stops for a moment. He says, talks of mythical beasts coming back after years. This whole business with the drunken guard talking about a Weradile. What if that's real? A famine happening? Then he says, you know, the lady I talked to, because now that you mention it, it had to be a lady. Then he stops and he's like, because she smelled like flowers. And I missed it before, but now that I'm thinking, and then he stops and he's like, well, I don't want to be judgmental. It could
That's a
have been
common
a dude.
misconception. No, like a man can enjoy flowers,
It could
sure,
have
but
smelled.
no.
It could be a dude that smells like jasmine flowers, and it was jasmine flowers.
Jasmine flowers
Night
are the
blooming
best
jasmine
flowers.
flowers.
I love jasmine flowers.
They
Everyone loves
smelled
jasmine.
like a hot summer's night, and she had those marshy boots, or he. I'm not one to judge. But she said something as they left that kind of sparked my interest now that you mention it. They said the timing was important and I would know when to come back because all the pieces would fall into place. And I said, what? And she said, think of it as a smoke signal.
Chucksina on the council, was she particularly tall?
Yes, she's a half orc.
Mentally, I point that out, that she was very, you guys, she really wanted us to come on this mission, and she's tall. So, I don't know. But why would she, well, if she hid the stuff to set this whole thing in motion, and then she got us to leave, because it looked like Garrosh and Godfrey didn't want us to go. I don't know.
As we're hearing all of this, I don't know where I am in the cart. I don't even know if I'm still invisible, but I want to like take a quick. How long am I invisible for?
1 hour.
Oh, nice. Okay. Callie's going to take full advantage of this, and as we get into Henge, but hearing this, she's going to poke her head out, and I want to take a look around and see, do I see smoke anywhere? Do I see like a fire, not just a smoke coming out of a chimney, but like a town burning?
So you're looking back towards where you came from?
I'm kind of doing a 360, just like
Yeah.
poked my head out back, and anywhere that I can see. Hopefully we're close enough to Argent that if there was something bad going on, I could take a look, or Henge, or anywhere. Am I seeing something bad?
Yeah.
A pillar of smoke.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. I'm going to use my talent dice on this. Hold on a second. 19.
Okay.
Nice.
So with a 19, what you do see or what you do perceive on the horizon is a distinct sound of like a clanging bell.
In what direction?
The direction you came from.
Okay. And that wasn't...
You have to be very quiet to hear it, but you hear like a very distinct, almost like a clanging bell.
In the mental telepathic call, I'll relay this to the three of them.
It seems far off though, if that changes anything.
And when I describe what I hear, what you hear is me just essentially playing back the noise of this bell that I heard. So it's almost like I've just hit record and hit play on the bell. Do any of you recognize that sound?
Oh, it sounds like the bell that I used to hear my mother use when it was time for dinner. Perhaps it is dinner time.
What time is it?
It's the morning. It would be
Perhaps it is
time.
breakfast time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would be like brunch time or lunch time.
So what happens if that is a bell that is going off when it is not normally dinner time?
From where are you hearing a bell? What's happening? Well, I don't understand.
I'm here. This noise, and then you hear the noise of the bell because I'm just going to play it back for you. I'm hearing that coming from the direction of Argent.
Okay, then we need to go back to Argent immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
As you're having this conversation, you're actually pulling up to the gate of the town and of Henge. And sure enough, this town looks very different than Port Argent does. Port Argent's walls are made almost out of like these old, large bones of beasts long dead, whereas Henge actually rests in the shadow of a large dead volcano. At least you hope it's dead. It's surrounded by almost like black, luscious soil that has developed around the town, and then in the middle of it, almost in like a weird circle, they have this like beautiful tall red sandstone wall, and the town, which isn't actually, it's about the same size as Argent, rests in the shadow of this large mountain, and the gates themselves are gorgeous, and they're engraved with the faces of two perfectly opposed dragons.
Kalaputar. It is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Avren, what happens when that bell goes off?
Yeah, I don't actually remember. But I think it might be a warning bell. I don't think
Our
something
time
good.
of being council members, I have never heard this bell, but it could also mean danger. I would imagine with these hopefully inactive volcano, that is not what it means.
Mm-hmm.
But we were 6 hours away from Port Argent, so that would have to be like a deafeningly loud bell, right? Or something
Exactly.
else.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
From what you can discern, yeah. Logic would say this has to be something closer.
Do we see anyone in Henge at all?
Well, yeah. So as you pull forward, the guard recognizes the two drivers, and he opens the gate for you, and they swing open, and you're immediately hit with this beautiful smell of like spices, and you open up right in the spice market. It is large, it is beautiful. They're selling saffron, turmeric, everything you could ever hope for, large piles of chili powder. And as you open it, you see like a dwarf come running towards you. He has like a big red bushy beard, as bushy as you can imagine it. Points out in almost every direction, and the edges of it are singed. And he's wearing a cap, a big blue cap that almost looks like a Santa cap. Like it's just kind of, but it's like the style. It's I guess maybe he took a fancy to it. And he comes rushing towards you, bristling. Eyebrows almost at those perfect two angles like this, bristling. And he says, "God damn it, when the guard hailed me and told me Rick and Gil were here, you're a week late." And he's like running out, angry, belly like flopping up and down as he races towards you. And you see him like pull out like this like little stick, and he just starts whacking Rick and Gil upside the head while they're sitting up in the front of the riding spot.
I would like to move behind this dwarf and pull out my knife.
I would look to perform the assist maneuver to make it easier to hit the two of them. Just like hold their heads in place. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
no,
I'm just kind of pushing them into it.
Yeah, no, let it happen.
Like-
let it happen. Take your
Oh,
lumps.
that
You
might
just hear
miss.
Gil go, "Oh, what about the hero's return? I thought we would be hailed as heroes."
You
You
caused the
opposite of
problem,
thinking.
buddy. That's not how that works.
"A week late!" And he's like yelling at them.
You all hear in your head Callie, who is now behind this dwarf with her knife out, but
Mhm.
you can't see her because she's invisible. And she says, "Would you like me to dispatch this one
No,
before
no,
he
no,
kills?"
no.
Roger
Am I-
jumps.
Don't-
Wait, did you say it telepathically?
Telepathically,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, never mind.
No, she
Mhm.
she is hidden, and she's going to take advantage of this. Are you sure? Because I can definitely kill this one and hide the body before
Yeah.
anyone would know.
Still late. That's very nice of you to offer that, but the dwarf is on our side, I have a feeling, and these two are not. So these two have they deserve to get whacked by a stick. Yep, that is an accurate assumption. So let's
You
not
have martial
kill
punishment
the
here on the
dwarf.
surface? That seems very cruel.
I'm not feeling like it's martial punishment right now when you starve a town.
Well, then we should just kill them.
Excuse me, Mr. Dwarf. What is your name, Mr. Mrs.? I know the female dwarves still can have a bushiness about them. Who are we addressing?
He draws himself up to his full sort of height. And as he does this, you realize he's actually wearing his pajamas. He's wearing like a robe over, and it is blue as well. And it matches his cute little sleeping cap. And he draws himself up to his full height and he says, "They call me Roger the Red. Welcome to my beautiful city. You'll have to excuse me. These two mongrels have upset me for the last time." And
Roger.
the stick breaks in his hand. And then he just starts dual wielding and hitting one with each of them.
No, they deserve it. Get it out. But if I may, we have visiting diplomats, Avren and Sofieus from nearby Port Argent. Here is the shipment. Someone interfered with it. Someone's trying to cause your nice city to suffer. You have your silver. The vegetables were lost. We'll get you more vegetables. We did bring catfish. Here we are. Discuss. And I literally step behind Avren and Sofieus.
He finally throws the sticks on the ground. And you see he almost snuffles like a hedgehog, but he's like, "Yes, you're right. Quite right. I apologize for my lack of decorum. Welcome, proud diplomats, Port Argent, our trading partner and sister city. How may I make your stay comfortable, and how may I be of help to you? You've come upon us in, I must say, rather troubling times."
Sophius, you don't have food, do you? Do you have a way of making food? Or
I always have a way of making food. But I just wanted to say, Mr. Dwarf, thank you for having us. I think that Rick and Gil probably deserve the beating, but also I just wanted to mention that there's perhaps more evil power happening that has caused them to do whatever it was that they did.
Oh no, not this. Please, if I hear the word Weradile one more time,
No,
someone will die.
we took care
A
of
human
a
being
few
will die
Werediles.
this day.
I don't think it is the Werediles. I think it is something tall, right, Rick and Gil? Someone or something tall and cloaked that is responsible for this.
Gail, this is the time where you speak up, or you get more beatings.
Unless you need more coffee.
Gil relays the tale that he told you to Roger. And Roger listens quietly for some time and he says, "This would explain a lot. This is troubling, but it would explain a lot. We've been dealing with the food shortage locally. Some of our farmers have stopped working. They've abandoned the farms outside the walls. Talk of a Weradile. The timing seems suspect. Who knows what happens in those marshes? What if they've created some type of creature or summoned it? I thought it was all chicanery and nonsense. You know how these country folk are. They get excited about a mole rat that's larger than what is normal. They'll get excited if they see a chicken that's abnormally large. Suddenly it's the god of chickens and the coming of the chicken people.
Wait, there's chicken people? Where? There's a chicken
There
god?
are no chicken people."
Sophius, you hear in your head, chicken.
There's a few chicken people actually, freely, but that's another place.
If we find one of these chicken people, we will eat very well.
None of
She
it has
says to
chicken
Kelly.
feelings.
There are all kinds of ways to serve Aarakocra. So let's see.
Callie notes that this is the second time that cannibalism has been mentioned by these people.
Not cannibalism when it's an Aarakocra.
I want to know Callie's narrator voice.
Callie will remember this. But she's still trying to remain hidden, so she'll say nothing.
So have you ever heard bells in town, by the way? Big Red, what's your name? I forget, sorry.
Roger. They call me
Roger.
Roger the Red.
Roger the Red.
No
So have you
idea
ever-
why.
Very loud. No. I would call you my boy Blue. But, so, where
Blue
exactly?
is my favorite color.
I did not know that. What? I
I haven't
lost my
had my
thought.
coffee yet.
I lost my
It's a
thoughts.
weird day.
So have you heard any bells at any point near town?
No. I
I'm a
don't
bit of a
think
loss.
so.
Well, we have the silver. We have tons of catfish still, I think, right? We have like a bag
Yeah,
of catfish. We
Caught
can
them
give
last
you
night.
for
Yeah, they're
food.
still good eating.
Yeah, they're
It
still
would
fine.
help. However, we're a very large town and we have very many mouths to feed.
Well,
We
we're
need our
gonna-
farmers to go back to work.
It
All right,
sounds like, and I do just sort of elbow Avren a little bit. I'm like, sounds like they need some heroing done to bolster the people's confidence and bravery.
Everywhere we go, there's heroing. Everyone wants to hero.
I know, that's why we go. You know, that's what
That's a
happens. Like, I
lot
just
of
end up where I need to be. I just go places, Avren. And the universe puts me there to do heroing, and the universe put me here now.
You're a hero. He asks you this.
In the telepathic call, Callie is going to ask the three of you, find out how much the heroing will pay while we are here.
I very much back in the mental link. I'm like, no, heroing is its own reward. And then very much draw myself up. Like, yes, I am a hero. We are heroes.
I guess
Commendable.
Really
I used to be a hero back in the day.
What happened? Tell me.
Turns out that monster hunting is a very physically grueling profession.
I show him my robotic arm and I'm like, girl, same.
Mhm.
So is that
There's only
how
so many
your,
times you can fall on your ass before it just won't take another beating.
Is that how your beard got singed? I see that it looks like it's a little burnt.
Oh, no. That's just from blacksmithing. It's a passion of mine a little bit.
Oh, you make weapons.
I do. The best
Do you make any daggers?
I can.
Are you perhaps related to Barnabas Silverbeard?
You see him scowl. Don't speak of Barnabas to me. What a foolish man. Distant cousin.
I was about to say, that's not a no, though. Yeah, okay, all right. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Distant cousin, twice removed. What a ninny.
Well, I mean, like, you know, like we met, like, you know, somebody else that knows him, and they were like, you know, they didn't say like bad things about him, but they were like, he's kind of like, you know, like a little bit like a bully, like kind of like what's your beef with that dude?
He comes up with one or two mining innovations and thinks he's God's gift to the entire continent. I can't stand the man.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
like that in school too.
No, I know.
God.
Yeah. And
One of those small, squirrely, nerdy types that you just can't stand.
Avren, you see Freely look at you like he's about to take another dig, and then he doesn't. Like, I know a guy like that. I
do have other warlocks freely.
but he
Not
doesn't
entirely.
actually take the
So-
dig. He's like,
Yeah. Just kind of keep that all inside. Keep that all inside. So we have to go kill whatever's doing this to the farmers so they can get back to work.
Yeah,
Which is a
yeah.
little bit strange since we keep on shipping food from Argent here as if some kind of supply and demand is being met by whatever this force is on the outside of town. So do we know about where this threat is?
Are you talking about the threat to Henge?
Yeah,
Or-
no, yeah, to Henge.
Mhm.
the thing that's making the farmers not go to work.
Yeah. I won't lie to you. Killed a lot of big, scary things in my lifetime, and this one, it's strange. Some of our livestock ended up mutilated. Not even eaten by like a normal beast, just straight up mutilated. And then all of a sudden, you start hearing these stupid rumors about a Weredile. Got all the farmers spooked. Then one of the girls, Daisy, goes missing. I tried to put everybody at ease, tried to let them know that this was probably just a coincidence. They don't believe me. They're convinced there's something out there that's killing the animals and now abducting their children.
When
They refuse to go back.
when he says that, you see Freely's entire mannerism changes. He just hops out of the wagon. He's like, which way?
Yeah, we don't really do. Yeah.
Mhm.
Can
He
someone who is visible ask if anyone has seen this weredial? Do we have a description of this creature yet, or do we think that this is completely a made-up story by the people in the marshes trying to scare the farmers to stop them from making any of the food to cause the issues that we are now encountering?
how do you go about your investigation? Do you ask Roger or do you try to ask like locally or do you try to ask people in the market?
I actually reply mentally, just Freely's own position. He's like, doesn't matter. Something hurt those animals. Something hurt the
No,
people.
I really need to see Callie invisible walking to townsperson to townsperson asking.
Robo conscience.
Yes, please.
Well, if we leave this dwarf and she's still invisible, so Callie will respond mentally to Freely and say,
Mhm.
well, it only matters because it can help us be prepared for what we're going to encounter. For encountering just a mindless creature, a beast, that is a different tactic than somebody who has set up an entire plan in order to cause the downfall of possibly 2, maybe more civilizations.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Why would any monster, why would any animal not eat what it kills? That makes 0 sense. This
I
seems
agree.
fake.
That's why I'm suspicious that this is
I-
actually.
I mean, sometimes my cat kills things. Listen, I appreciate you looking into this, but if you wouldn't feed the rumor, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we're just going to take care of it and find out where the children are.
Whatever you find out there, if you could just lie about it, that would really help.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that, actually.
No,
So,
sorry, man. No. Brought you silver, though.
You have
Like-
silver, you have catfish, and now you're asking us to lie. Everyone's asking us to lie about something.
People are
and
in a
you got
panic
Gil.
right now. I've led this town to victory. I've led this town to prosperity over the past 22 years. My leadership is being called into question because of my lack of handling this issue.
Well, we're going to handle the issue. You're not going to lie about it.
Well, how
Because
about
what
this?
would be so much worse is if you did and then we called you out in front of the whole town.
Yeah, that's not leadership, buddy.
I mean, we could always lie about it if we get enough silver. So
I might be able to arrange something.
Then in our connection, I'm like, and then we kill him.
Oh, man, that got dark quickly. Yeah.
No, I didn't mean that. That's just like a, muscle reflex. And then we take his silver, and then we tell everyone he lied.
In the mental connection, Callie's going to say, how much longer am I going to be invisible? And can we find out how many children are missing?
Probably about another 59 minutes. He could be invisible.
So you said Daisy was missing. Are there any other kids, any other adults, anybody, like anyone else we need to keep an eye out for?
No, just Daisy.
You guys, there were some dudes that we ran into out there that we super did not kill that said they'd gotten kicked out of Henge. Like, what was some guy named Georgie, some guy named Paw? Like, what was their deal?
Wouldn't you kick them out? They're uncouth. They're drunk. They don't know how to handle themselves. They kept stirring up trouble, layabouts.
Yeah. Oh no, they're laying about. But okay, yeah, no, got it. Right, cool, great, awesome. And then actually Freely starts
Can't
walking.
stand them.
But how many people have you kicked out of town? Because maybe they might want to be getting even with you.
They would never get the motivation or get sober enough to try. And if they did, I would shove my one good foot so far up that loser's. There's ladies about. I will refrain.
Do I remember from our fight the night before with those guys, were they drunk?
Roll a wisdom check.
Sure. Just straight wisdom?
Yeah.
All right.
Only in D&D are like, are those people we almost beat to death? Were they drunk?
Were they drunk?
Yeah.
I got a 19.
Yeah. As you as you recall now that you're like thinking back on it, you do remember that like the vague sense of a little bit of something that was maybe cooked at home on their breaths.
Okay.
Oh,
So that checks out.
You hey, Red, you might want to keep send somebody to keep an eye on the sacred circle, because I think somebody was planning to send a big smoke signal soon, and burning the place where there's never supposed to be a fire would be a good way to get some attention. So maybe like put some people out there, because we can't go solve your
can do
monster
that.
problem and solve your,
The
somebody's
last
gonna-
thing we need is a forest fire in the middle of all of this.
And I feel like that's common knowledge, which is mean it's probably super going to happen. So yeah, all right, we're just gonna go do some heroing.
What kind of idiot would make a fire in the middle of that dry grass area in the middle of that henge? I hope not.
Someone who wants to hurt you. That's who would do that. Yep.
He looks over at Gil and he's like, "You're not lying for attention, are you? I know you try to come up with these things to impress Starland. She still doesn't know you exist. Does this cloak person actually exist?" And you hear Gil nod or see him nod, and he's just like, "She exists." Or, it could be they. They smell oddly like, and you just hear him say, "Shut up, Gil. God, I can't stand these two."
I would like to activate my psychic abilities, and I want to add Roger to the call.
Oh god.
Okay.
Be interesting.
So I'm gonna, I refresh it and I add Roger, and it's not a call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so they can.
Did someone
they
just
can.
enter the Zoom call right now?
Yeah.
So the fun thing about
Roger
this,
pops up with his singed red beard.
it's like, oh look, he's in here. Because like remember, it's a one-on-one thing, and
Mhm.
also I just add people. They can opt to leave at any time, but I'm not going to say anything.
That's so good.
And so I'm going to add him to the to my mental connection,
Mhm.
and then in his head he's going to hear Callie say, "You should stop being so mean to him."
He jumps, like startled. He's just like, "Did anybody else hear that?"
Hear
Nope.
what? Are you okay?
Yes. That was weird.
He's acting very strange.
Well, he hasn't had his coffee yet. He did say.
I haven't
Oh.
had my coffee yet.
Would you like some butter coffee?
No, thank you. Is that a Port Argent tradition?
Oh, it is a meat tradition. It is very delicious.
You don't have to eat anything for the rest of the day. It's great. You
It's a little oily. It's odd, but it is very invigorating. So you can put a little
Weirdly
coconut,
tasty,
little coconut oil in it too. Yeah, just kind of sets it off.
Yeah, I can
He
put
like
some
nods
coconut
his
oil in
head
too.
and he's like, "Well, we grow the best coffee for miles and miles around.
Oh,
It's that good volcanic soil."
well, perhaps if you wanted to pay me in coffee instead of silver, I'd be happy with that. Everybody else would definitely like some silver though, without mentioning Callie.
He like kind of leans back and he thinks and he's like, "I don't care what you tell people, as long as you don't add to the panic. That's all. People are scared. That's it. I would just like to see all of this simmer down.
It won't panic if we.
And
take
I
care of it.
understand that lying sits not great with you. But if you start talking about forest fires and cloaked people and cults in the marsh, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get these people to go back to work."
Gotcha. Really, you're freaking them out.
It's a freaky time, and I go in the direction that he pointed. Like I literally just like head whichever way he said. Just start walking.
I'm going to do a quick roll. Okay, yeah. So as you because like basically the way the town is structured, like I said, there's like a circular wall, and then outside of it you see like these large flats of like black volcanic soil and little farmsteads cropped up. And the place he's directed you to is outside the town. And as you leave the gates or you prepare to make off, you hear a very distinct bell getting louder.
When we
And
were
we
in
need to
Millie's
head-
cart, did she have a bell or anything that we saw?
Give me a wisdom check.
Also, does this sound like the same bell I heard?
It does, yes.
Okay.
That is not fair. 12.
12. That's enough to remember. You do vaguely remember her having a bell that she had on the side of her cart.
Millie had a bell, and she's the only one that knew we went this way.
Perhaps it is Millie.
You said up on the gates. Is there a guard tower? Anything that gives a higher
Yes.
vantage point? I
Yes.
actually head up the guard tower.
Okay.
Just look.
Yeah. So as you head up the guard tower, there is a half orc on duty. He gives you a little stool to stand on so you can look over like his little nest.
Oh, thanks, man.
And as you stand on it, sure enough, down the road you see like a little bit of dust and a horse moving your way. It's that somebody is clearly on, obviously.
As soon as they get within range, I hit them with message. I let everybody else know psychically now. In fact, Callie, I pointed out to you in case you can reach them further out. But I'm just sort of like literally with like my you got a point for message. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And what message do you send?
Who goes there? Are you in trouble?
And they can contact you back, right?
They can only hear my message, and I can only hear their response. Yep.
Yeah. So you hear back in your head, a little uncertain. You hear, "Well, this is different. It's Millie.
Oh,
There's
hey,
trouble.
wait, where's Bessie? And Bessie too.
They're back in town. They're not fast enough.
Okay, trouble. All right, yeah.
I need your help
It's
now."
all right, well, okay, well, come on. You're close. I'll get Avren. I'll round everybody up. And through the psychic link, I say what I've seen and what she said and what's happening.
Yeah.
I'll pass that all along, and I will actually, just for fun, also pass it on to Roger the dwarf before I disconnect the call from him.
Okay.
Okay.
So the last thing he hears in his head after I say, "You should be nicer to him." Also, Millie is on her way, and there seems to be trouble. Goodbye.
And
All right.
sure enough, you see. Wait, you could do something if you want to go real quick.
No. I was going to try to find a horse and start heading towards Millie.
She races towards you. It takes her a few minutes to get there. And you do realize she's been in a panicked fashion ringing the bell. And as she reaches you all, she hops off her horse, utterly exhausted. The horse is like trembling and hot steam is basically rising off it. And she says to you all, "The mine's collapsed. The entirety of it. People are trapped inside. We need help." And she like goes over to Roger and she says, "I need your help, Uncle. I know that you don't like my father, but I need your help and I need it now."
How far away is the mine?
You know that it's near her. You know it's near Port Argent. It's near your town.
We go all the way back. Okay.
And you see him like talking to her in hushed tones, and they're like kind of arguing back and forth about the details.
I don't mean to be dwarfist, but I mean, do you have people here that know anything about mining?
He looks over his shoulder and he's like, "Well, from what she says, they just need help. They need people to help move the rubble, get people out."
If the mine is closer to Port Argent, why did you come all the way here?
We don't have enough people.
Because
We
a
would
lot of
be
them are in the
happy
mine.
to help.
Yeah. What's the fastest way for us to get back then?
Roger thinks carefully, and he says, "I might be able to provide you with some horses, a faster way back." He seems a little reluctant, though.
Is there any way to cut through where we were going to look for the monster to get to the mine?
Well, you did find a shortcut.
I mean, is it either or? Is there a way that we can at least like make a cursory examination on the way through?
Yeah. So you wanna go back, but you also want to track the monster while you do so?
Ideally, because maybe we roll it up on the way
Okay.
and then get there and save
For
the
sure.
miners.
Yeah, you can definitely make a detour.
Also known as Tuesday for us. Yeah.
Mhm. So yeah, you can definitely make a quick detour and hit up sort of the outskirts of the farming area. You'll just have to track a little bit north before you start going back east or west, because you came east. Yeah. So you'll just have to go a little bit north. It'd be a little bit out of your way, but you could do it.
Do they have any form of communication? Like, do they send birds or is it just like all messengers?
They send messengers.
I would ask Roger to let them know, like send a writer directly. Maybe I guess probably Millie really. Send Millie to be like, help's on the way. We're coming. We're just gonna go a different way to get there.
Okay.
Actually, well, town's council people. It maybe send whoever Roger's gonna send directly, and then we make the long way and come over to help.
Yeah, because I'm assuming it's not just us that would be going, right? The whole mine collapsed.
Yes. Yeah, the whole mine did collapse. And from Millie's sort of feverish description, you get the idea that there are about 40 people trapped inside and many injured.
I mean, the other option is those that could actually help in a productive way go, and maybe some of us stay, because I would be more than happy to help with the poor people trapped in the mine, but I am not very strong, and I cannot slice rocks with my daggers. So I'm not sure what help I would be.
Well, the helpers should definitely go directly no matter what. And then we take the other way to get there to try and help as well, I would think.
Okay. So you hatch the plan to take a slight detour yourselves and look into Henge's problem before heading back to Port Argent.
I mean, if that's cool with you guys, of course.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's probably the best thing to be doing.
Okay. Roger seems to appreciate this idea as well. And you see him still arguing with Millie. And he's just like, I'll send a few people along. We have our own problems, and your people haven't exactly been of help. Your shipment came a week late. And you see her saying, I don't know about all that. Listen, it's not time for petty squabbling now, eh? And she's like yelling at him, and he's yelling back. And she's like, I know you have no love for my father, but you at least should have some for me. Do you intervene or
No, we
you don't have to?
Hey, guess what? People may be dying. There are 40 people stuck in the silver mine. So, Redbeard, stop. Send people to help. This is not a time to be petty, to be angry, or to have some kind of weird squabble with your cousin or your uncle or whatever is going on here. You need to help people. You need to be a leader. This is your opportunity to be more than you are right now. If you think everyone in this town currently doesn't really believe in your leadership because you haven't been handling some kind of threat from outside your own walls, they're going to think even less of you when you decide not to help a bunch of miners who need you at this moment. Do the right thing and actually lead.
I'm not going to make you roll for that. He nods and he says, you're right. This is my chance to be a better leader. And just because I feel that they've done wrong by us does not mean that I will do wrong by them. He motions to one of his men. Get Millie a fresh horse so she can send word back. Rally 12 of our best. They need our help. Lives are at stake. Dwarven lives. And some other ones too. And he like looks at all of you. I'll go myself and arrange the effort. And he says,
almost good.
Yeah. He's working on it. He's working on it.
I have some experience in all of this. Sort of, I might be able to figure out some type of contraption to move stones or something like that. I'll go myself and lead the rescue mission.
I do actually. I hit Roger with message so that only he can hear me.
Okay.
And I do tell him, yeah, go help those people because it's the right thing to do, but make sure you leave someone here you can trust in case this was to draw you out. We got to split the difference here.
He looks at you. He doesn't say anything, but he nods. And you hear back in your head, he says, the timing is a little too good.
Time to go to work. And I do just like slap him on the arm with my like robotic hand. Like, all right, can we go?
You did the right thing. You're doing the right thing.
He gives you like a clap on the back and he's like, you're right.
Imagine it's like my metal butt.
He is a bit shorter. Yeah. Dong.
See, you had to get a butt replacement too. See, he's right.
I have other warlocks, really.
Yep, but they don't
Do
answer your
you?
calls. And then I turn and run.
Okay.
So are we getting horses, or at this
You
point?
can.
Oh,
Yes.
Uh,
I would
Callie
like
will
to get a horse.
Callie will sidle up to Sofieus and say, "I have never ridden one of these beasts."
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. It is
Uh,
easy. You just, you dig your heel into the saddle and you hold on for dear life.
That doesn't not sound easy in any way, shape, or form. Can
Callie,
I just
maybe
ride?
with yeah.
You can ride with me.
That would be good. I would free up a horse for somebody who knows how to ride this beast, and no one would have to be worried about teaching me in the middle of all of this, because this seems like it is important.
Actually, she could ride with me because I think between the two of us, we probably weigh the size of like a person because she's slight and I'm small.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I,
no,
that
Freely, you're
works.
riding with me.
Oh, God.
You doubling up on 2 horses. Is that we're only
Ugh.
taking 2?
I have big spoon, little spoon. There's no good choice. Ugh.
I want fan art.
So you're both. Wait. So how many horses are you?
Yeah,
on?
how many-
know.
Are we taking 3 or 2 horses?
I
Yeah,
think
I'm trying to figure that out myself.
Callie and Sophia's are on a horse together. I think Freely can handle a pony on his own, and I will take some whatever horse can possibly handle my armor. And we will ride off.
Okay, as long as the 2 of you are not on a horse together, because you would murder each other by the time we reached anywhere.
That's also very true.
Yeah.
Someone would not be on the horse at the end of it.
We would not need 3 horses after that. Okay, so yeah, thank you, Sophius. I remember how you were talking about being afraid. I'm not afraid, but I'm definitely worried about controlling this beast at this moment.
No, of course not. You are the most brave construct I've ever seen. I merely meant if you were in trouble to chew the gum, but that moment has passed. So just make sure you hold on tight.
To you or to the horse?
To me and the horse.
I will-
both, ideally.
I will do both. I will sit behind Sophius, and I will probably death grip at least one, if not both of them. Because
It's a little
reading
tight.
about riding a horse and actually riding a horse are 2 different things.
Can you grip souls? Can you just like hold on to someone's soul?
I can for a brief moment.
Mhm.
And
Well,
then
that's
they're-
true,
and
but
then-
it's not good.
No, and then it's not good for them. So no.
Unadvisable.
Maybe no soul
Um,
grappling.
If you
Who
need me
leads your
to
charge?
control this horse, yeah, maybe not.
Probably Freely because the moment he can get on the horse, he goes because he's like people are in trouble. So he's just gonna.
Oh yes,
Okay.
I definitely want Freely to go first, so
Okay.
they can see me in my resplendent armor coming up second.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let you roll advantage on this check to see, because I feel like at this point you're pretty familiar with the area around you. You've rolled really well so far. So even though you're forging into slightly unknown territory, you have an idea of where you're going. And so this will just be to determine how quickly you get to your 2 different destinations. So I'm going to have you roll with advantage for, let's just do survival again.
Who's rolling? Everybody or just one of us?
Freely, because he's leading, he's sort of in the front on his horse.
Screw this
That-
up, Dave.
I'm like, so I rolled to disbelieve. No, that 16.
16.
Nice.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna make a note real quick. So you make it to the farmsteads pretty quickly. And sure enough, everything looks completely abandoned. The houses are empty. The livestock are not in their pens. You assume they've probably been removed and taken elsewhere. And you notice that people have barricaded their windows and doors. It's like a ghost town out here. So as you're riding, you're just riding past like abandoned farmsteads.
Do we notice any of the destroyed livestock that was mentioned?
Yeah, you would see probably like corpses here and there.
Sophius, can you stop for a moment so that we can take a look?
Of course. Did you want to pick up some bones?
If that will help with the looking, I can definitely do that. I was mostly just interested in examining the area while we
Oh,
were
yeah,
not
yes,
fleeing
of
on
course.
a beast of burden.
Of course.
Yeah, that's all over.
Oh,
I start making a lot of noise. If there's something predatory, I actually want to draw it out.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like very much like, whoa, man, look at this. There's just nothing around. Very much trying to give away our position.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna take I want to look at this. Whatever got killed, I want to look for what might have killed it and tracks for
Mhm.
what might have come and gone from it.
So as you're looking through like the remains of this like torn apart sheep, you do notice that it has been rended with no real rhyme or reason. It's almost been shorn clear in two.
And any tracks besides what I would expect around a farm?
Before you can start to look freely, give me a dexterity check, a dexterity save.
That's how we lost him.
I'm pretty quick. Hey, I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Don't worry. I have more warlocks.
That is a night. You don't though. That is a
You
19.
It's a 19.
Mhm.
So, freely, your horse rears all of a sudden. You manage
Ooh.
to flip off and land on your feet.
Mhm.
And before you even know what is happening, you see a maw. It is all teeth, rotted flesh, and blood come down on the hindquarters of your horse and just rake.
No.
didn't even
Do-
The
get a chance to
beast
name
is
the horse.
neighing. Yeah,
Little
in
Paul.
terror.
I'm like buttermilk. No.
Oh, not
Oh, no.
buttermilk.
The creature.
Oh, you named it.
Oh, it's buttermilk. Yeah, it's buttermilk.
Not butter
it's
coffee.
buttermilk
Come
now.
on.
No, it's buttermilk.
No,
The
it's
thing
just
does it
butter.
look real or does it look like a construct? Like, do I see any metal or like whatever it is? I'm about to. I'm attacking it. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay,
Going
go
to
ahead
attack it.
and roll initiative.
Okay. Sorry.
Everybody, I can get an initiative roll.
Halfling luck, because that would have been a 1.
So what does it look like?
A maw. All I heard is a maw.
You'll get a roll for that in a second because you've kind of been taken a little bit unawares.
No problem. I very much, yell out what's happening. And 19.
Yeah,
Thanks to halfling luck. Otherwise, it would have been not that.
I got 9.
I got 10.
I got a 16.
I am last.
You're first in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Was it Callie or Sofieus that has 16?
Callie has a
Callie.
16.
Okay. And then so you had a 10. Sorry, just keeping track here. All right. So what did you want to do, Freely? You said you're going to attack, but you also wanted to take a look at it?
Yeah, I'm particularly curious to see if this is something artificial.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lay into it either way, but I'm
Okay.
looking to see if this seems like a living thing or not. And that is a natural 20.
Hey!
Oh,
For your attack?
Yes.
Oh,
Last
nice.
minute.
Yes.
Nat 20.
Yes. I'm an Eldritch Blast it. But I'm like, let her go. For 19 points of damage.
Okay.
oh God! If we had ran together, one of us would be dead.
I still would have landed on my feet.
Looking at it, it looks almost like like there's a thick film or slime on it, and it smells of decay. And it does look like a large crocodile-esque shape. Like the maw is elongated, but the rest of its body is almost obscured behind it. Almost
Well,
like a pool of shadow.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, presumably they can all see this. So I say it out loud. Talking's a free action. I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't know what this is. It's just like a mouth in shadows, but
Yeah.
we're going to take it down. Yeah.
You
Oh, I
Eldritch
think
blast
this
it,
is-
and
Mhm.
it does like reel back very quickly, and it releases Buttermilk. Buttermilk is still injured and neighs madly, snorting hot air through her nostrils and like reeling in pain.
My
I'm gonna-
movement, I get between the horse and the thing. So I'm like, bang. And when it
Oh.
drops, like, hop over.
Aw.
I'm like, let's go.
Okay. And then it is Callie's turn.
Freely's next to it.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm
Oh,
gonna
I'm
knife
engaged.
it.
Yep.
Yes, that's what I need. That is the exact thing I need. I am throwing knives. First one is a 16 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Awesome. So this will be the one with sneak attack. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's gonna be 13 psychic damage as I one blade, and then I'm not even really waiting to see what happens. I just produce the other blade and throw the second blade because this thing looks fearsome and awful, and I want it dead before it can kill another horse or a friend.
Okay.
So, that's more. That's 17
Okay.
to hit, and that will only be 5 psychic damage.
Okay.
And I want to move around. So did this thing like come out of the woods nearby into?
You
where
didn't
we
get
are?
a chance to see. It definitely got the drop on you because that's kind of what Freely was aiming for. Like,
Okay.
it was trying to get its attention, and it did. Yeah.
Okay. But the woods are the closest place that something could have been hidden.
The woods are on the other side of the road, so you're sort of in like a farming neighborhood.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then I just
You're-
want to move around, so that I'm not in the same line as everybody else in case more of these things appear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure.
I've learned from the wolves. I just don't want to be next to anybody in case that more of them pounce. So
Okay.
I'm gonna move.
So, do you want to position yourself like in behind it?
Yeah, but not
Okay.
in melee. I'm still gonna
Right,
stay
at
within
range. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the beast reels as these like psychic knives dive into its flesh with like this weird, almost whining sound. And you hear like a ear-shattering like shriek as it lets out this almost unearthly sound. And as it does, you smell like this sickly smell of rotting flesh and decay. And you realize it's not the beast itself that's decaying, but it just is like almost cloaked and encrusted with like the entrails of everything it's murdered in the past 3 weeks. So you and as it opens its maw to bite at you freely, you see like just like rags of flesh and almost squirming, like maggots and all manner of like pestilence is like in its maw, and it bites at you.
So whatever this is not capable of digestion. Okay, cool. All right, yep.
Or it is a flesh hermit crab.
Ugh.
Okay, well, let's make that for
I
DM's
rolled
Guild.
a 26.
That is enough to hit me. Yep.
Mm.
Okay.
Also, I'm gonna hellish rebuke it.
Okay, yeah.
Actually,
I think
I
this
am
thing is
going to
already
use
from
my
hell.
reaction to get in the way. It's something I can do.
Thanks. Avery.
Okay.
Yeah, I am going to shove my armored body in front of Freely at that exact moment and take whatever attack.
Oh, thanks, man. I just imagine you see Freely very much resolute, like Avren just jumps in front of him. Clang.
Math.
Yeah, so yeah, basically I just take the hit. That's why I use my reaction. I can do it once per
Okay.
day. Yeah.
Avren dives in front of Freely, and it's a good thing because as this maw chomps down on your flesh, you take 13 points of damage.
Mm.
Okay.
And I'm also going to need you to. Oh, well, no, it's not even a check. You are also now locked in its jaws. Like the jaws crunch down on you and you are grappled.
Okay.
And
how much did I take again?
Oh God, was
13.
it 12?
13.
13.
Yeah, 13. Okay.
Thank you.
I meant it was 11.
I was like, oh no, I didn't write it down.
I had
That's
3
piercing
temporary,
damage.
so okay, I'm down to 17. All right, got it. Got it.
Mhm.
All right.
And
that's
then
my reaction.
as it chunks down into you, and you feel it, quickly become aware of what is happening because you feel as soon as it bites you that like you're stuck. You feel the metal almost give way a little bit as its teeth embed itself into it. And then it quickly whips its tail around at you freely.
Okay.
And oh shit. Okay, so I rolled a 19.
That is enough, and this time I do still hellish rebuke it.
Okay.
I'm like, yay, Avren, I pow. You know. Okay. I hellish rebuke it for 15.
Okay. I think I make a dex save for that.
Let's see. Dex 13. Yep.
Okay. I don't make it, so I'll take the full 15. You hear the flesh sizzle and pop as you hellish rebuke it.
Yeah. What does it hit me for?
8 and then 7, so 15 damage.
Ooh.
Bludgeoning damage. And as its tail connects with the side of your head, you are knocked prone. Oh wait, you can make a DC. Can you make a strength saving throw? You have to beat a 16 to not be knocked prone.
I get exactly 16. So hey.
Okay, perfect. So you're not knocked prone. The tail collides with the side of your head. You go reeling, but you do not fall down. You manage to keep your footing. And then it is Sophia's turn.
Is Avren still in the mouth?
Yes.
So you just hear her look up in horror, and she shrieks out Avren's name. She holds up her staff and pulls out some bacon bits and pours it into the dragon head's mouth. And she kind of knocks it against the ground. She's like, "Come on, you damn thing!" And then aims it at this monster and sprays bacon grease all over the ground.
Okay. And I think it has to make a save for that.
Dex 12. Yep.
Okay.
Is bacon grease different than butter grease? Is it a different flavor?
It just smells different.
Okay. I love it.
It's both. It's a little.
I got a 13. Is that enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I think every turn it's in the grease, it has to avoid being knocked prone, if I remember correctly. All right. Or is it when it ends its turn there? I can pull it up too, I think.
A creature that enters the area or ends its turn and there must also succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone.
Oh, okay. So I would have done it at the end of my turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Avren, it's your turn.
I'm punching.
Unless you want to do something else, Sophius. If you can move or do a bonus action, I think.
No, I think that's it for now.
Okay.
Okay.
Avren.
I am going to use a bonus action to get 3 temporary hit points, which is a weird armor thing you can do.
Okay.
So I'm going to give myself that, and then I'm going to punch it. So I'm basically just energizing my armor somehow, and I'm just going to crack it with a thunder gauntlet right in the head because I want to try to keep it focused on me if I can possibly do so.
Okay.
And if I do hit it, it'll have disadvantage on attacking anyone other than me. And it's 11 plus 4, that's 15.
That hits.
Okay. 1d8 plus 2. And it's a 4. I do 4 points of thunder damage.
So, as you see this beast struggling to keep its footing in the slippery bacon oil, and you see it almost basting Avren in the oil as it's like munching down on it. And you see Freely like trying to struggle to keep his footing as it like spins around and whips it with his tail. Then you see this, you hear this like thunder crack as you see this gauntlet come up on the other side of the maw, where you see like a little bit of his body flailing, and you see it connect with the side of the crocodile's head. I think that is the perfect place to call it for today. And I will definitely remember.
Is it?
Everything's going to be fine.
Perfect is strong. Perfect is strong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, bowl cookies. This is really bad.
My husband's in trouble. Let's throw some bacon grease on him.
No, again, no, it's okay. No, we're good.
But buttermilk is safe.
Buttermilk is. I mean, if we all die, buttermilk may still very much die. Yes,
Yeah.
but
That's yay tanking. This is a new experience. Please hit me.
Nothing
Hit
like
me
being
some more.
inside of its maw, you know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
grapple.
Grease.
Yes,
It's a Sunday.
because guess who's got 4 hit points left? This guy. Yeah. So no, we're good. We're good. We're gonna do violence. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh
Thank
my
you
God.
so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for playing with me today, players, and thank you in the audience for coming through. I hope you enjoy this adventure as much as I enjoy telling it. Let's do some quick shout outs. What is everyone working on, and what are you up to, Lauren?
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm the community manager for D&D Beyond. Come see me play tomorrow in another game called Beyond Heroes, and follow what everybody else is doing because they're doing a bunch of other stuff. Bye.
And I know we're going to talk about Electropunk at a minimum.
Yeah.
B. Dave, who are you? What are you up to?
First of all, thank you for that. Yes, I have a graphic novel Kickstarter that is going right now that is called Electropunk, Children of the Future. There you go. Got the logo. Yay.
Looks
what else?
so cool.
Wrong way. There you go. There you go.
Always branding.
Also, this week, the trade paperback for Dungeons & Dragons: The Dark and Wish is either going to hit this Wednesday or next Wednesday. We just got our samples today, so it is very soon. Catch Thursday nights, Dungeons & Dragons: The Dark and Wish. The stream, I believe episode 10 is this week. I think we are coming back for season 2. Yay. Friday night, catch Todd and I, or me being terrible to him in an interesting change of pace, on Vampire the Masquerade Anarchs of New York on
Dumpster fire of
twitch.tv.
Nosferatu.
/level up dice. No, you're incredible at it. You're incredible at it. And Sundays, we have one last epilogue for Long Beach by night, and then we're doing one-on-one shots where Melee Damage and I will be playing D&D 1 o'clock, twitch.tv /QTime.
Some nothing.
So really, I'm an underachiever. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Subtle.
God, but you need to start filling your time with things. Megan, what have you been up to?
I can't follow that up. I got nothing going on. I'm Meagan Kenreck. You can find me on Twitter as always, and I will be right here next week.
Yay.
Awesome. And Todd? I think you hate doing these. I get the vibe that you hate doing these.
No, I do. I am married. I'm married to the most beautiful woman in the world. That's Meagan Kenreck, and
Aw.
I'm playing this game. Tomorrow, I'm DMing Beyond Heroes for a bunch of my friends, and having them fight gelatinous cubes, maybe even more. I don't know. Depends on my mood. And then I'm the creative manager over at D&D Beyond. So, yeah, so I do. I make a bunch of creative, weird stuff, and it's really fun. And this is an amazing game. Thank you so much for running the game for playing.
Oh yeah, of course. Thank you so much. I hope you all are enjoying it because I have been enjoying telling it, and I'm so excited to see how this next fight goes.
I just want an entire episode.
Fine.
Rick.
It's going to go fine.
There's so many different threads you all have been pulling at, and now they're gonna come together, and you're gonna level very soon. By the way, spoiler alert.
I'm
'cause
like
I do.
freaking out because I'm like, where do we go? Because now it's like that. It's like that Witcher Dragon Age level of like, if you go to the wrong village, everyone dies, and I'm like,
It is like that Witcher level. You're right.
Listen, as long as Rick and Gil are okay, Rick and Gil have to
No,
survive.
they're
No
the
matter
ones
what.
who can
Yeah, no,
die.
Rick and Gil made all this happen. Like they're the ones that must not be all right.
Yeah.
Lauren loves them and wants them to survive no matter what.
I am so amused by this disgusting monster that you've described. It's not even like eating the entrails, it's just kind of adorning itself with them.
Yeah, like some weird type of
It's
like
just accessorizing
trophy. Yeah,
the
yeah.
way it
Hermit
understands.
crab.
Accessorizing.
Flesh
Accessorizing.
accessories. Yes.
Necessaries have been tested.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining us, all of you in the audience. Thank you, players. I had a great time.
Oh, we
Thank
have
you,
butter. We have
Jasmine. What are
emotes.
you doing?
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also emotes. We have like a new butter emote because
Wait,
apparently
we
butter's
do?
a new theme.
I totally forgot about that.
I
Yeah.
You asked. We
So-
answered.
That
My
makes me so
husband made a
happy.
butter emote.
Yeah.
There you
Aw,
go.
Luke
So-
is so awesome.
He is.
That's
we have a
that makes me so
butter
happy.
We have a
Yeah.
butter emote. Because why not? Because it's the internet and sometimes you have to be silly with butter.
There is a butter emote.
Yeah, the
Very
last
serious.
episode got so big into butter, like that's literally all people were talking about was butter. So now it's an emote, and we have other emotes as well.
It
Thank
puts it on
you.
its skin.
So
But
much.
what do you have going
all
on?
of you. Oh yeah, hi, hello. I'm that bronze girl. I'm the DM for this circus. Yeah, I'm just doing my normal thing. I'm streaming. I'm launching a new Ironsworn co-op campaign on my channel soon. A couple actually. One is Death Stranding themed because I'm a big Death Stranding fan, and the other one is kind of inspired by Black Adder. If you all are
Oh
a
my
fan of,
God. What?
wow.
I'm a big fan of Black Adder. So if you
Wow.
get any of those references in this campaign, I am so sorry. It seeps into just about everything I do.
Never be sorry for that.
Um,
Never be sorry.
Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you all next week. Same great time, same great place, 6 to 8 p.m. right here on D&D Beyond. Have a
Bye,
wonderful night,
everyone.
everyone. Stay safe.
Bye.